As we continue now, it's time to think about fitness, physical fitness, nutrition, so many things, and we have an expert on the show right here. Her name is Ember Strand, personal trainer, and so much more. Ember, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Well, here you are, and when we talk about just that area of town, we already talked about. You're in the zone 2, the center of the Houston universe, which is the west side of town, just a little bit outside the 610 loop, Campbell Road, but you're serving people in a tremendous way all over the place. Let's tell people what you do.
Okay, so I am a personal trainer and Pilates instructor, and I actually either go to people's homes and train them, or they come into my studio, or I also do it virtually.
First of all, as far as making an investment in life, we think about it, and as you know, even myself, as I get older, it's like I'm in pretty good shape. I feel good. But then again, I know with each year, there's like something comes out of the blue like, wait a minute.
Where'd that come from?
I guess I must be getting old. And as we think about that, it makes us think, not just when we get older, but even early on in our teens and physical fitness is so important. It affects everything, our body, our minds. So tell us about how you even got into this profession.
So I've been an athlete since I can remember, probably 4 years old. I played college ball.
Now, what kind of college ball?
Baseball? Intramurals.
Okay, yeah.
No. I played softball, and I'm also a national handball champion.
Really?
Yeah.
How about that?
So just my love for sports kind of drove me into studying sports and fitness. And I originally wanted to be a coach and a teacher, but life just told me otherwise. So I eventually started working at the Olympic Training Center in Colorado. And from there, moved to Malibu, California, and started running the fitness programs and outdoor programs at Pepperdine. And then I moved back to Texas and started working at the Houstonian, where I became a personal trainer and Pilates instructor.
First of all, you mentioned 2 places that I don't think I would leave.
Yeah.
Number one, where in Colorado again?
Colorado Springs.
I was there many years ago, and I enjoyed Colorado, the mountains, all that, the weather. I like cool weather, so you enjoyed that. How long were you there?
About a year. Not too long.
But then here comes Malibu. Surfboard, sunshine.
Yes.
Really, again, you have mountainous terrain out there a little bit, especially if you go further south in California, the Laguna Beach area and that sort of thing. But tell us about Malibu.
It was great. I joke and tell people I moved from paradise to here. It's hot and sweaty. But you can't compare the people here in Texas, and that's my true passion. And so it was just time to come back home. But Malibu was great. I worked at Pepperdine, and it's a Christian university. So I got a lot of personal development there, made a lot of good connections and relationships. I worked with students. I had about 45 total student employees that were underneath me, and kind of just got to develop them and be an influential part of their journey.
So how long were you in Malibu?
Almost 3 years.
You do any surfing there?
No, the water's too cold.
Well, that's why they wear wetsuits.
I know, but man.
Like I used to go out to Laguna Beach. I don't know if you've been there, Laguna Beach. South of Laguna Beach, there's a little town called Dana Point. And every now and then, years ago, there's a Ritz. To me, there's no bad Ritz-Carlton. They're all beautiful.
Yes.
However, the flagship out of the maybe 10 I've been to is the Ritz-Carlton Laguna Niguel. And let me tell you, as we paint a picture of that Southern California, the surfboards, beautiful scenery, that particular Ritz is on, and I'm addressing the coldness, but one of the things there, any time of the year, the weather's really nice, but the water's always cold.
Sure.
So you take January, they're at that Ritz-Carlton, Salt Creek Beach. The surfers are so passionate about surfing. They're out there at 5:30 in the morning on January, but they're wearing a wetsuit. And I've never surfed, so I guess it keeps them warm.
I hope. I don't know.
But
I'll
it's
leave
cool.
it to them.
It's cool to watch
It
the surfers.
is very cool. It's really
love
cool.
That.
Yeah.
So there you are. You're in Malibu. And by the way, you probably saw a lot of celebrities out there.
I did, yes.
Did you ever see Bob Dylan? Because he has a home, a kind of a home in some kind of a, I forget the geographic term, a promontory, which is kind of sort of like a peninsula, but he has an area, Malibu. Okay. Anyway, I'm a big Bob Dylan fan.
It kind of juts out.
That juts out or something.
Yeah.
Did you
I'm
ever
sure
meet
I
Bob
saw
Dylan?
it from, the beach or something.
But did you ever meet Bob Dylan?
I did not meet Bob
man,
Dylan, no.
Yeah,
but I did. I babysat Pamela Anderson's sons.
How about that?
Yeah.
Was that home on the beach?
Wait. Oh, well, she had several.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Because I like those homes that are on the beach there in Malibu.
Oh,
It
they're
just seems
gorgeous.
relaxed,
Yeah.
and there's nothing, as much as I like the Atlantic Ocean, but something about that Pacific Ocean is a little extra
is.
special, especially from the perspective of either Laguna Beach, Malibu. Okay, welcome to the California edition of Successful Living. But meanwhile, back here in wonderful, beautiful Houston, humid
Sure.
Texas. Let me tell you this. I agree with you. Houston is hot and humid. However, as far as making and crafting a life and meeting interesting, fun people, I've been here in Houston a long time. There's no place like it.
There's really not. I love it. I never thought I would live in Houston. You know, I grew up in West Texas, so I'm a small town country girl. And living in the city kind of can seem intimidating, but it's actually a town for me, you know. I mean, everywhere I go, I know someone, I see someone, people are friendly, and I wouldn't trade it.
Well, and right now, you can't argue with, we're not going to get political. I will say this, though. People leave in California in droves. They're having a lot of problems. We're mentioning the highlights, but there's tons of problems. It's too expensive, and it's out of control from a tax standpoint and so many other places, so many other categories that they're moving here to Houston, Texas in droves, not just from California, but other places. So something's going on here in Houston. A lot of economic opportunities. And by the way, as these people move into town, Ember Strand, they're also candidates for your physical fitness regimes that you're going to you customize to everybody individually.
Yeah.
So there you are. After you leave California, you could still stay fit by calling
It's true.
Ember Strand.
I know. It's so fun.
Let's tell us a little bit more about what how you help people, because I'm guessing anybody that might call you or that you're serving right now to be in top physical shape are all different. You might have someone that's got a couple extra pounds.
Absolutely.
Maybe you have someone super thin. Different ages. Tell us how you approach each individual to make sure that they get the best, the most from your services.
My philosophy and the method and the way I approach it is I believe everybody's body is different.
No doubt.
And as we train, I get to know who you are, your lifestyle, the way your body moves, the way it functions, and I customize and tailor a program that's fit just for you. The oldest client that I have is probably, I think she's 97.
What?
And my youngest is 12. Yes, it's so fun. And so we work on everything. Like, for example, my 12-year-old, we do a lot of basketball drills. She's trying to make the 8th grade or the 7th grade basketball team. So we do a lot of agility.
And he's how old? He's 12.
She is 12.
She's 12. Okay.
I think that's 7th grade, right? Yeah. And we do a lot of agility, a lot of core training, a lot of coordination, and very sport specific. And I'm a sport fanatic. So
well, let's explain that. Many people think they know what core training is, but let's, from an expert, let's tell people, what is core training? Is that the top of our body in the center, or what?
Well, so you have these major muscle groups. Obviously, your spine is kind of.
We hope we have the muscle groups.
Exactly.
And some of us want definition. That's another
exactly.
thing. Okay, good.
So, the spine makes up who you are, and it's all of those major muscles that are around it. So it's not just your abdominals, but it's also your glutes. It's also your abductors.
What's the abductor? Back. The side of the abdomen?
No. They're on your hips.
Okay.
Yeah. And so it's those large major muscle groups that are supporting the spine.
Spine's important.
Very.
How do we keep the spine in shape? By doing exercises to build the muscle around it?
Absolutely. Okay. Of course. So there's been this craze within the last 15 years of Pilates. It originally started, there was a guy that was in a really bad accident, and the doctor told him, "You will never walk again." And he said, "I'm going to prove you wrong." And so he created Pilates and actually rehabbed himself back to health.
Let's define Pilates. That's another thing. People think they know what it is.
Of Pilates.
But where did the name even come from? What's a Pilates?
Joseph Pilates.
So it's the guy that did it.
It is. And he took the
that
French...
took off, didn't it?
It did. He took the French ballet, anyone that was injured, and basically started training and rehabbing them. And then it just kind of spreaded like wildfire.
Sure did.
And, as an athlete, I'm so used to muscling through everything and powering through. And when I was Pilates trained, that's a whole new beast. And I was sweating my butt off just doing a simple movement. And my teacher was like, "What? Why can't you do this?" I'm like, "I don't know." So it's challenging.
Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know, but I'm guessing the Pilates, is that going to work muscles that may not normally get worked? Because
Yes.
I don't know how many muscles the body has,
Ugh,
but
there's a
there's a
lot,
lot.
but I like to think of Pilates as obviously it's a good stretch. It works all of your core muscles, but with my certain clientele within the last 10 years, I love it because it gives you a modality and it puts your body into positions that it wouldn't be able to get to on its own, and therefore strengthening you in those ranges of motion. Does that make sense?
Sure. As I age, and I think others too, we look at people that are way older than us that are in good shape.
Hmm.
I know I do that. So,
Hmm.
for example, I think a great example is Mick Jagger.
Hmm.
I don't know how old Mick Jagger is, but he's way older than me. But this guy's he's in shape.
Yes.
And I forget the exact title, but if you go to YouTube and put in Mick Jagger's workout,
Hmm.
many of you can do that right now after you listen to the show. But when you do that, he does so many things: ballet,
Hmm.
Pilates,
Hmm.
cardio,
Absolutely.
stretching, yoga, and I think
Mhm.
something else even. But
Absolutely.
he even incorporates ballet for the muscle, the balance.
Absolutely.
And you see him on stage here in the 70s.
Hmm.
It's very encouraging to
It
see
is.
people that are in the age of the 70s, 80s, that are in great shape.
Yes, absolutely. And I mean, I
Doesn't
think
happen by accident, though. We have to work at it.
you
So
do have to work at it, but make no mistake, you don't have to go in there and kill yourself.
That's
And I
the beauty. Yeah.
think that's what people get intimidated by.
I think that's also gives people the excuse to say, I'm not going to do that.
Hmm.
Because even myself, I'm not in super shape as I can be. However, the shape that I'm in now, it's because I've done a little bit each day.
Absolutely.
And what do I mean by each day? Each day. I don't do heroic stuff. Now, maybe knowing you now, I might be inspired, and I know I will be.
No.
But I've done a little bit each day, walking, stretching, and things like that. And,
Yeah, one of my clients came in the other day and he's like, "Man, I'm so sore." And I was like, "Well, we haven't worked out in about 2 or 3 days. What's going on?" And he was like, "Well, I tried to go into the gym and get skinny in one day." And he goes, "And I almost killed myself."
you could
And
hurt yourself if you
it's
do that.
true. But I mean, it goes to your point in saying if you just do a little bit every day, you'll
So
come a
important.
long way.
And along the way, here's the thing I found out for myself, and I think everyone else. If you do some kind of physical exercise, in your case, you might be helping someone with several exercises and a program, but the days you don't do it, it also affects the mind.
Absolutely.
Because exercise will take stress.
Hmm.
I would venture to say it would reduce depression for those that are prone to that. But if you miss it, I know the few days where I've been sick or something and I didn't do my exercise walk, I'm like, something's missing.
Absolutely. So, yeah, it's a proven fact that exercise can reduce cortisol levels, which is your stress hormone. It increases endorphins. It boosts your metabolism. It increases your energy. Like if you do it first thing in the morning,
There you go.
I have noticed that by 3 o'clock, I get that extra boost. Then I would normally be lagging. There's too many benefits to it to not do it.
So someone's listening right now and they say, I think I need to call Ember Strand.
Mm-hmm.
And they can do it. By the way, how do people reach you, Ember?
On my website, it's emberstrand.com.
Strand.
Correct.
Ember, not Amber. Ember, Ember, right?
Yes.
Emberstrand.com. So someone calls you up and they say, Ember, where do I begin? I'd like to enlist your services. And again, you can go to the person's place.
Yes.
Or they can come to your studio.
Yes.
Do you do a virtual thing as well?
I do.
Okay,
Yes.
so there's 3 different categories.
Yes.
How do you begin? Do you talk to them on the phone first and then show up, or do you meet them and say, okay, here's the kind of program and let's do this?
Yes. So
How's it work?
initially, I have an initial phone call, and I like to put a voice, to an email, and I kind of get to know what they have available at their house, kind of what their lifestyle is. I get to know them just as a person, if they have a job, what that looks like, what their current nutrition looks like. So then after that, I kind of figure out their schedule, and then we see what days they're available and how many days they want to come. And I just basically build a customized package for them.
So also, let's talk a little bit about how do you determine cost? Because sometimes we look for every reason not to do something, right?
Absolutely.
Oh, it's too hard. It's raining. Okay, well, get an umbrella and go out there walking. Big deal, right? But we look for every opportunity. Oh, it's too much money. Oh, I have to join a gym.
There's always a way around
Right,
it,
right.
you know,
But
and
you determine a package for
yeah,
them,
we
right?
determine a package, and that's depending on how many times a week you want to do it, if you want the meal plan included and things like that. But, you know, talking about ways around things, I often ask people, and I don't, it's kind of a rhetorical question, but, you know, what's your mortgage? And if you're willing to spend thousands of dollars a month on the home that you live in, like, why wouldn't you be willing to spend money on your body? It was where you live every day, you know?
Exactly. And all it takes is one health scare to realize, and I guess you don't even need that. I mean, we're just logical. You see that all of a sudden you could be in an accident or break your arm or fall down or something like that, and you realize that we take for granted our health and our normalcy. I mean, sometimes just being normal is like if you've had an accident and you hurt yourself, you just I just want to be normal again, right? Whatever normal is, there's no such thing. But just saying, we don't want to regress in our health, and as we get older, or if we let's take someone that's in their, you probably have people in their 20s that are working out with you, right? So in their 20s, they want to maintain, and I'm guessing they might say, hey, Ember, I want to work on my arms.
Sure.
Or there's, you know, maybe a vanity part where we want to just look better. And by the way, if
We all do.
we all want to look the best we can,
Yeah.
right? And when we're physically fit, we have a certain glow.
Absolutely.
Tune into the YouTube channel. As I said, we all have a certain glow right here, right now. So check us out. Again, radiobill.net. Easy to remember, radiobill.net. And we have the Western wear, right?
Oh,
Remember?
yeah.
That's the extra bonus of this show today. So let's tell people, you mentioned nutrition. So you have in all your world of experience, physical fitness, you can help someone get in better physical shape. What about nutrition, though?
So I do nutrition coaching, and I can supply a meal plan to meet whatever goals you're looking for, whether that's weight loss. You know, sometimes a lot of people will come in and they've got hormonal imbalances. Nutrition can help with that. Some of my clients have Parkinson's, and we found that adjusting some things has helped. Rheumatoid arthritis, eliminating some citruses. So there's just some little tweaks that we can do if you don't want to commit to a full, you know, fledged plan.
What about hydration?
Oh,
Okay, I've heard, and this was, I think even Jerry Seinfeld, he didn't have it in one of the shows, but he in his stand-up thing, he talked about hydration like, hey, everybody's talking about hydration. If you're thirsty, you drink. How can we not, unless we're on a desert and lacking water, how can we not be hydrated with the tons of water that are at our fingertips? How can we lose hydration, and how do we stay hydrated? Why is that a thing?
I think people they just don't think about it, and they wait until they're thirsty to have a drink, and that's not actually when you should be drinking. And you know
when should you drink then?
the old rule of thumb is it's half of your body weight in ounces. Now, for some that can be a lot.
Half of your body weight in ounces. Okay, someone's 150 pounds. That's 75 ounces
At least. And it seems like a
a
lot.
day.
Yes, it's
Wait
a
a
lot.
minute, that's a lot.
It's a lot of
75
water.
ounces.
But
That's half a case of water.
it's a lot of water, and so we don't get enough. And I often think that we're thirsty and we're not hungry, and so we eat.
That's not
And
that
then we
much.
gain
That's
weight.
almost 5 Ozarka
It's not a
bottles,
whole
60
lot,
ounce. Yeah.
but compared to what people normally drink, you know?
So that's important, though, hydration, right?
Absolutely. I mean, it helps everything. Your joints, your skin, your hair, your eyes, your nails, your brain.
Brain's important,
It's very important.
and it responds to hydration.
Absolutely.
How do you feel about, there's also these places there where lately I've seen where you can get like drips and
Oh, the
things like
drips.
that.
Yeah,
What
I've had
happens
some
there?
before. Oh, man.
They said, because I went to get one, and that was the thing. Oh, well, this is going to be the greatest, like a great hydration experience for you. I'm like, I didn't know I was thirsty, but yeah, you know, right?
Well, I mean, they're probably using hydration in a very broad term.
But then again, if you have a medical situation, I've heard where someone goes into an emergency where they're like, oh, they're seriously dehydrated. How'd they get that way? But whatever, then they give them a drip right there in the hospital.
Sure. So I've been
Of some type.
dehydrated before, but didn't know it. But I was, 14 and in the middle of West Texas playing in 102-degree weather 3 games in a row. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm sick all of a sudden. And I was dehydrated. But
Right.
back then, they gave you Coca-Cola syrup and saltine crackers and said, get back out there.
Did it work?
Actually, it did, and I don't
know.
know if it's because I took a break from the heat or what. But
Show disclaimer: we're not
don't
giving any
try
medical
that.
advice,
Don't try that.
and we're not sponsored by
They
Coke
do.
either,
They give you an IV fluid, and yeah, it actually does help.
That's amazing. So give us an idea. What else do you want people to know about what you're doing? You're there to help here in Houston. How big an area do you cover? Because you can only go so far, but how does it work?
Well, so it's funny you asked me because I've been contemplating, do I expand and how do I do that? And part of it is, I can only be so many places at once. And
after this show today, I mean.
Yeah. But so I thought about, there are some really great trainers out there. And not
do you
only
have a network where you can refer to?
I have a huge network. And so basically I want to expand my team, expand my reach. And so if I can't get to you, then someone that I have vetted, someone that I know is
like-minded.
Absolutely.
Program.
That is certified, that's qualified, has the people skills to deal with, then I would.
That costs extra.
It does. Yeah, it's an important thing.
It is.
So to expand that reach, that can adapt and adopt my philosophy. So like, for example, if you live, past Kingwood or in Galveston, then I would have to
get up there. Yeah.
Yeah.
But you have your network there that you can help.
Absolutely.
We want to tell people here over the next minute or two about what you're doing. Ember Strand, personal trainer, helping people build their bodies, also with some nutrition along the way. You can guide people there as well.
Absolutely. So what I do is I'm in the service industry, and I am here to figure out what works for you and your lifestyle. And I'm here to give you that extra push and to hold you accountable. And it's obtainable. Whatever you want, you can do.
See, I've never had a personal trainer, but I'm thinking that the benefit is right there. Mm-hmm. You're there. Mm-hmm. You encourage accountability, like you're saying. Mm-hmm. The value of that is incredible. And quite frankly, we look at all the many people that are successful in life. They have people helping them in this very important category of life. Once again, the website, Ember, is
emberstrand.com. emberstrand.com.
Ember Strand. That's easy to remember.
It is, yes.
So you could be driving out there, emberstrand.com. And we won't mention names, but I will tell people that you are serving some of the most interesting people that are very successful right here in Houston in all walks of life in an incredible way every week, right?
Absolutely.
And the website again is
emberstrand.com.
And it's our Go Texan edition, right, Ember?
Yes, sir.
Here we are. Tune in. Thanks for being with us.
Thank you so much.